Hello everybody, once again, this is the EpicGamingGuru, and yes, I'm back to try to do some reviews again. It's been a very long time and I could probably explain all that in a video upcoming in the future, but as of right now, I have to redo Tarkov as an entire video because I really hated the audio on the previous review, and it's only fair that I fix a lot of these previous reviews that I've done wrong. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. To be 100% honest, a lot of things have not changed in the current wipe when it comes to missions or anything that the NPCs usually sell. It's basically the same basic stuff in principle since the other previous wipes when it came to Tarkov. This isn't really much of a problem considering this is what people would normally expect, because every time they do a Tarkov wipe, they only add like a couple of new malicious items and then they start adding a bunch of other stuff way after. I don't mind the idea of Tarkov constantly making updates and rechanging themselves every wipe, but can we please already stop with the wipes? It's already been 4 to 6 of them in less than a span of about 5 to 6 years. I know it sounds like I'm maybe tearing into the game a little bit, but let's be 100% honest here. Do you guys really honestly want to keep seeing Tarkov in beta? This game has been the longest going game I've seen in beta, probably in the history of any other video game I've ever played in my entire life. That may sound a bit exaggerated, but I played games like Warframe as well, and that game's already out of beta, so I really don't understand why Tarkov itself has to be constantly in beta. I understand to a certain degree what you all mean when the game has to be constantly fixing itself on bugs, glitches, server issues, and especially cheaters. I'm going to get onto that with the rest of this review in a bit. And I know it sounds like I'm talking a lot about the problems here in the game, which I haven't even touched a lot of the good things yet, but let me just go ahead and keep telling you right now. The fact that the game is still in beta does irk me a little bit. This is also old previous footage I have with a bunch of upgrades that I don't have yet, so I do have to throw that out there. Just because of the fact that I'm sounding like I'm trying to bite into this game too hard, that's not very true. I do enjoy Tarkov regardless. Although they did add a new edition map called Lighthouse, which is rather interesting. It is kind of a more complicated map compared to the rest of them, especially with the rogue guards all over the area. One thing that bothers the living piss out of me is the fact that Tarkov always has a long waiting time. You'll be waiting so long for everybody to synchronize and load into the match just for the game to give a fair DLSS connection to everybody around the map. Only problem is that there are some times where even the NPCs themselves can lag and result in you getting instantly domed in a headshot. I've seen a lot of players and a lot of scav players themselves who have gotten headshotted instantly just because their DLSS connection has failed on them while trying to play the game. It could be DLS connection or it could be DLSS. Forgive me for not knowing what the proper term is, but yes, as soon as you see those percentage numbers start to cut off, that is when you're gonna die off. Oh, finally, after 3 long agonizing minutes, I could finally be deployed, and I still have to wait for the deployment time to take me inside the actual game. Now that I think about it, I don't think going into reserve at night was probably the smartest move, and I can guarantee you that I'm probably going to end up getting killed by a scav sooner or later. That's another fine point I forgot to throw out there in Tarkov. This game does function off military time, so if you don't know what time it is in military time, you're going to have to look up the schedule for it to get a comparison of what time it is during night and day. This game does get more darker than DC Comics, so you're going to have to figure out how to set that up on yourself and understand how military time works in your own time. I'm not even going to sugarcoat that this game gets absolutely ridiculously dark. I can barely see the silhouettes of grass, bushes, and trees, and if somebody was hiding in a bush, I wouldn't even be able to tell where the hell they are or where the shots are coming from unless they're using no flash hider or no suppressor on them. Ooh, what do we have here? That looks interesting and valuable in some way. I might as well go ahead and put that in my alpha. Oh, what was that?
Эй, земляк, мы...
That right there is what everybody calls a scav. Scavs usually try to kill you as a PMC of any kind, whether you're a bear or you're a USEC. These guys will go after you no matter what. So you have to be very careful and cautious while dealing with them. And let me tell you all, they do massive damage with their guns and they do not miss a single beat of shooting your arms off or legs. These things use nothing but leg and arm meta all day round, and they will not stop at nothing to make sure you are straight up dead.
Левый коронный, правый похоронный. Похоронный?
Okay, maybe the scavs can be a little bit dumb sometimes. Probably should be safe in this metal. Oh god. Alright, that had to have been a player with a really good assault weapon. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Alright, what the hell did he kill me with? There's no freaking... How the hell am I gonna survive an M62 tracer while fighting a scav and they're armed to the core while being able to see in dark? These motherfuckers have instant night vision. Also, by the way, this adds to the point, the game can give you some very frustrating games and this is just one of them. I don't understand how the hell they thought that arming a scav, of all things, with an M62 tracer based weapon that's semi-auto is not going to be a problem. It could have been a hunter using the M62, but I don't think the hunter Vepr uses that. But either way, why the hell would you give such a caliber to a scav? Alright, gotta go around and sell. Oh god, wait, what just happened? Wait, what? What just happened to my game? I just tried moving things around in my inventory and suddenly I got an error. Am I stuck? I'm stuck on the main screen. I can't get out this. Okay, hold up, I'll be right back. I gotta reset my game. Alright, now that my game is working, I can finally talk about one of my favorite things about the entire game as a whole. The idea of how the weapon presets work in this game is absolutely insane. The amount of customization you can do on a weapon is absurd. You can change just about every little thing on any single weapon you want. You could change the stock itself, you could change the pistol grip, you could change the front handguard, you could change the muzzle adapter, you could change the iron sights, you could change whatever reticle you want. Anything you feel comfortable that you can work with on your gun and you feel like it works for you, you can have it on your weapon. There are some meta weapons that you might want to try out and meta presets that people have done. I've actually used a couple of them and they're pretty good. I've even made my own and they're all pretty effective. So always try to get a weapon out of a raid and try to see what you can do with it in preset and try to have some fun with it. Most of my builds are less than about 25,000 rubles, which is pretty cheap on a weapon in comparison. I've seen really good builds up to 40 to 50,000 rubles and insane builds up to 100,000 or more. So it really depends on how crazy you want to go at it with your gun. So go absolutely nuts if you're trying to enjoy and go crazy with presets. There is literally no limit as to how far you can go with presets. It's just completely based on what you have in your wallet. Believe me when I try to say that I tried to find a scav game so I can at least try to get some money back after getting my head nailed out by an M62 bullet to the brain, but at least so far I've been able to find a match more or less faster as a PMC. Sometimes that does happen in Tarkov where you want to play as a scav, but most of the time you're going to end up playing as a PMC because it takes longer to find a match as a scav, because with scavs you have to go into a match that's already preset and pre-playing versus a PMC where it starts from the very beginning. Alright, I decided to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit, and it sounds like somebody's coming up ahead of me with gunshots, so I might as well figure out what's going on. Sometimes you really gotta be brave and bold in this game if you're expecting to survive any type of raids. And what do we have here? Usually a loud scream like that is a good indication that somebody has died, but be careful because that could usually mean that somebody's injured or otherwise. Always try to make sure your target is fully dead based on how they're dying on the ground or if they are looking completely dead entirely. Some people will even fake their deaths to avoid getting shot at. I'm also not gonna lie, this guy really was just unfortunate though. He was sitting on the main road just waiting to get some sniper kills on a few scavs, which I'll gladly get for him, but otherwise this is a basic tip right here. If you're gonna be standing in the middle of the road, you're better off just hiding in a bush or at least under the shade of a tree so players won't be able to spot you so easily. Well, I can't turn down free scav kills now, can I? Oop, probably should have ate my own advice and remember to keep looking around the area before I start searching a body. Alright, I think it's about time that I actually start going ahead and wrapping up this review. The thing about Tarkov is that yes, I understand that some of you may be thinking that I'm burning into this game a little too hard, considering that the game has got a small development team when it comes to Battle State games. I want everybody to know right off the bat that that is not the case. I do not feel like this game is going to be immediately burned just because of the fact that, oh, it's got a small development team or whatnot. That's not the main issues that I have with Tarkov. In reality, there are a lot of things about Tarkov that I wish they would have implemented more better quality of life changes into the game. Maybe fix out the problems they have with cheaters and a bunch of other bugs that have started every single time a wipe is usually in place. And I think that if they were to resolve these issues, this game would go from good to possibly one of the greatest FPSs of all time. It's already declared one of the most realistic FPSs of all time, but I feel like it would be the greatest of all time if it would just resolve and iron out all these issues, especially with cheaters. Still a good game. Wish it would have ironed out a couple of these bugs, glitches, and cheaters, but either way, still good. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comment section what you all think, since the dislike ratio has been removed, which I probably might do a video about that in the future. But either way, I hope you all enjoyed it. Tell me what you all think, and I'll see you all next time.